1945 was a critical turning point in U.S. history, and not just because it was the end of World War II and the beginning of the Cold War. There was a distinct shift in how the U.S. government and the military interacted with occult, supernatural, and spiritual things, although much of it was hidden behind national security, science, and intelligence. Basically, 1945 started the occult-science race. Up until that point, the supernatural, the occult, the spiritual seemed to have no place in military or government. But once they found out that Russia's government was into those things, it was a race to get there first. You know who else was really interested in occult and supernatural things? Yeah, the Yazis. 1945, we have Operation Paperclip. The U.S. brought over more than 1,600 Yazi scientists, including those with ties to occult research and fringe science, like Wernher von Braun. You know, the rocket scientist that basically helped start NASA? Some of these scientists had been experimenting with esoteric energy and mind control, and they included elements of the Thule Society, which would be a whole nother video, and Vril energy, which, again, another video. But why does that matter? Because this is when the US started absorbing ideologies and research from Yazi Germany. And not just technological, metaphysical, and psychological. And while we were getting the best and brightest German scientists, we were getting a lot more than that. And at this time in 1945, you have the creation of intelligence agencies that are rooted in psychological manipulation. The OSS becomes the CIA in 1947, but the groundwork was laid in 1945. And at that time, you already had people like Alan Dulles dabbling in psychological operations, parapsychology, and the manipulations of belief systems to control populations and foreign powers. This is where the very earliest seeds of MKUltra are started. Mind control, hypnosis, and even the use of spiritual beliefs as weapons were being explored. 1945 is also largely the beginning of the UFO phenomenon and the cover-up. In 1945, you have the Trinity nuclear test. You also have mysterious UFO crashes and sightings in New Mexico, years before the famous Roswell crash. The military immediately classifies these sightings and launches secret programs. Project Sign, Grudge, and eventually Blue Book. And I have never heard this, but there is a theory that these nuclear tests punched a hole through reality. Basically punching a hole through our dimension and letting in all of this crazy stuff. This is also when the military started investing in remote viewing, ESP research, and parapsychology. Now, of course, this becomes more formal in later decades with Project Stargate. But 1945 is when black budget funding for supernatural experimentation begins. So yeah, 1945 was pretty pivotal. Up next, I'm going to look into Operation Paperclip and its occult roots. So stick around and let me know in the comments what are your thoughts on this.